Welcome back to my series, Non-Stereotypical Serial Killer. This is part 2 of Seisaku Nakamura, who is a deaf serial killer. So after the daughter gave that really good description of the suspect, the police went after him. And less than a month later, October 12, 1942, he was arrested. And he was charged of 9 unalivings. And he also ended up admitting to 2 other unalivings, making his number 11 victims. In less than a month after his arrest, his dad unalived himself, November 11, 1942. So during the trial, of course, Seisaku was tried as an adult. One interesting fact is that the doctors actually claimed that he was not guilty for reason of insanity, but the trial moved very quick. And of course, he was found guilty of all 11 unalivings, and he was given the death penalty. And at the age of 20, on June 19, 1944, he was executed by hanging. And circling back to what I was mentioning earlier, I found in different articles that a lot of information about his crimes were heavily restricted by the Japanese government. And the reason for that is that Japan was going through a war at that time, during the time that he was actively unaliving people. So the government didn't want to panic the public. They didn't want to make the situation worse for their citizens. So they decided that the news were just not going to report on his crimes. That can also be the reason why the police had hushed up the information about the description of the suspect. So in turn, his crimes went on a lot longer than they would have if the news would have reported on it. But because the news didn't report on it, because the police hushed up information, and because the Japanese government didn't, and because the Japanese government restricted a lot of information about the crimes, even to this day, his crimes went on a lot longer, and maybe he wouldn't have unalived 11 people like he did. That's also the reason why his trial moved very quickly, and why the claims of the doctors, where they were claiming that he was not guilty by reason of insanity, were also ignored, and he was quickly executed. I mean, he was executed within a year of being found guilty. And as you guys know, that is very unheard of. Most people in the death row, or the people that get the death penalty, they spend 20 years in death row, and he didn't spend that much time. So that concludes Seisaku Nakamura, Hamamatsu death killer, who was a physically disabled serial killer, and our latest addition to my series, Non-Stereotypical Serial Killers. If you guys have any other recommendations, if you guys have